the company will ask the existing employees only to refer any of their close relatives or friends for any of the vacant positions in the company. The final selection decision, so after undergoing all this, so if the candidate is selected, then that we call it as the selection decision. So this is usually done for plumbers, electricians, etc. All technical jobs. For that we need this kind of a apprenticeship training. Hello everyone, I am Purnima, faculty in the Department of Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram, Pre-University College, Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. I welcome you all to this session. In this session too, I will be discussing some more concepts on staffing. Now, in this revision session, let us see what are the various external sources of recruitment. Now, before we just learn the external sources, let us understand what is the meaning of the word external sources. So, enterprise has to tap external sources for various positions because all the vacancies cannot be filled through internal recruitment. So, internal recruitment means you are filling up all the positions of the organization within the employees of the organization. From the employees only you give them transfer, promotion and fill up the post. But there are certain vacancies where the existing employees may not meet the requirements of that post. So for that we need to appoint a person, somebody from the outside. So that we call it as the external source of recruitment. The existing staff may be insufficient or they may not fulfill the eligibility criteria of the jobs to be filled. So the external recruitment provides wide choice and new blood in the organization. So when we want to have new choice and new talent into the organization, it is always best to go in for the external sources of recruitment. Now, let us see what are the various external sources of recruitment. The first one is the direct recruitment. Now, in this direct recruitment, it is nothing but you just put a paste outside the gate of the organization relating to the vacancies in the organization. This is usually done for the non-skilled jobs. So, all those jobs don't require any skill. For that, we will be recruiting through the direct recruitment. Usually, it will be done for the loading of the stock and unloading of the stock, whatever. So, this kind of jobs for appointment of loaders, it will be usually on a daily wages basis, and they will be unskilled labor there. And usually, in the morning itself, they'll come and they will just take up the job, and at the end of the day they'll be paid for the whatever the work they have done. So this is direct recruitment. So you just put a notice outside the gate of the company, stating that there are a few vacancies. So for that, the persons will come there and immediately they'll be taken on the job. They'll do the job, and end of the day they'll be taking the wages and going home. So this is one direct recruitment. Then second one is the casual callers. So these casual callers are all those qualified persons or those people who have the necessary qualification but who don't have a job. They will go from one company to another dropping their resumes. So they just inform the company there that if there is any vacancy, may be informed about that vacancy. So this we call it as the casual callers, and usually most of the companies, they maintain a file of these casual callers, and whenever there is a vacancy in the company, these resumes will be just considered for appointment purposes. Then third one is the advertisement. Now, in this source of advertisement, so advertisements can be in the newspaper or in the television or the internet or the media, whatever it is. So, you will be advertising for the vacancies for the various positions in the company. So, whatever the vacant posts are, the qualification, the duties, responsibilities, everything has to be neatly outlaid in the advertisement, and the prospective candidates, if they find the job very attractive, they will be applying, and in this way we can have many applications for the job. Then the next one is the employment exchange. So this employment exchange, so it is a move by the government to provide job to the unemployed youth of the company. So whenever the unemployed youth, if they have completed their graduation or any degree or any diploma holders, they can get themselves registered at the employment exchange, who will be in turn forwarding these resumes to various companies, and if there is any vacancy, so they will be notifying the candidates who can go and give the interview in those companies. So if they are lucky, they will be selected. Then the next type of external sources is the placement agencies and the management consultants. So these are a group of people who provide labor or who provide the staff to the various companies. So they are acting as a middleman between the prospective candidates and the company. So whenever there is a vacancy in the company, they just intimate these management consultants and placement agencies, and they will just put forward these resumes, whatever they have, to the prospective candidates and to the company. So they bring together the candidates and the company, and whoever is being selected, they will be just taken on the job. Then the next one is the campus recruitment. Now in the campus recruitment, we should understand that most of the colleges, so once the students complete the degree, those who are in the final year, the companies themselves, they go to the campus and they do the appointment process. Their selection process is done in the college itself, and once the child finishes his or her education, she will be taken on the job directly by these companies. Then the next one is recommendation of the employees. So in the next source, we should understand that the company will ask the existing employees only to refer any of their close relatives or friends for any of the vacant positions in the company. So in this way, they will be taking those persons who know what is the company is and what kind of a job it is. Then the next kind of source is the labor contractors. So these labor contractors are those people who have a group of people working under them, and they just negotiate about the wages of these laborers and they just put them on the job. Usually these kind of labor contractors, they will be in touch with most of the companies for housekeeping activities, etc. Then the next one is advertising on television. So some of the companies just advertise their vacancies on the television to attract more applications for the job. Then the last one is the web publishing. Some of the vacancies of the organizations can be also done with the help of the internet. So in the internet, they put up the advertisement for the various vacancies of the jobs, and in this way, they are able to attract lot of applications for the various positions. Now let us see what are the merits of these external sources. Now the first one is qualified personnel. So when you just opt for the external sources of recruitment, you will be just looking for specific qualifications for the post. So what is the kind of job which is there, and then what are the duties, responsibilities, and what is the basic qualification needed and the experience needed. So everything will be taken into account before appointing a person for the job. So that is why, so we can be assured that we can get qualified personnel for that position. Then second one is the wider choice. So when you go in for the external source, so you get a wide choice of candidates. So you can select from almost, if there are just 10 or 20 vacancies, the applications received may be around 10,000. So you can have a wide choice of candidates for the job. Then the next one is fresh talent. Now, in case of external source, we can always get fresh talent for the job, because the existing persons, they would have been bored of doing the same job again and again, and any fresh blood into the company will bring in fresh ideas, innovative thinking and creative thinking. Then next one is the competitive spirit. So this kind of a competitive spirit will be in the organization if it hires from the external sources. So the existing personnel, whoever are there, so they will not be just lazy, higher positions through promotions, so they will become very lazy. But then if you have an external sources of recruitment, so there will be more competitive spirit among the employees of the organization. Then let us see what are the limitations of the external source. First one is dissatisfaction among the existing staff. When the company appoints people from the external source, the existing staff may be dissatisfied. So usually for higher positions, so if there are there are employees who are working in the organization for a very long period, and if there is one young executive who is their boss, then the existing employees who have been there in the organization, they will feel dissatisfied because they have to bow down to this new person or younger person who has come into the organization. So there may be dissatisfaction among the existing staff. Then second one is lengthy process. Now when you appoint people through the internal source, it is a very short process because you don't need much of selection test, interview, etc. But if it is through the external source, you need an extensive process of selection. Then last one is the costly process. See, lot of time and effort will be wasted for the interview, for the selection test, and there will be so many other things involved here, as a result of which we call it as a costly process. So these are the limitations of the external sources. Now the next topic is selection. Selection is the process of identifying and choosing the best person out of a number of prospective candidates for a job. So you just select one person for the job. Now here you can see there are various candidates. So you are selecting only one person from this candidates. So candidates are required to take a series of employment tests and interviews. So they take lot of employment tests and interviews. At every stage, many are eliminated and a few move on to the next stage until the right type is found. So there are various steps in the selection process. So at every stage they remove the failures and only one will be appointed in the end. Now let us understand the process of selection here. So the important steps are preliminary screening. So preliminary screening means once the company receives lot of applications from the prospective candidates, the next step will be screening of the applications. So you just discard all those applications which do not have the necessary qualification and keep only those applications which have all the qualifications. The second one is the selection test. Now, what are the different selection tests used for the employees? The first one is the intelligence test. It is done to test the intelligence of the candidates. Second one is the aptitude test to see what is the aptitude of the candidate. Third one is the personality test. So it is done to assess the personality of the individual. Next one is the trait test. Usually check how proficient he is in his trade. And the last one is the interest test. So interest test is done to see what are the various interests which are there for the candidates. So these are the various tests used for the selection of the candidates. Then the next in the process of selection is the employment interview. So before I forget, I just want you to just remember that the selection process is the most important question which will be asked for 8 marks. So please keep this in mind, and usually the staffing chapter you will get one question from the selection process and also one 1-mark question, 2-mark question, 4-mark question and one 8-mark question. So this is an 8-mark question. So for the next in the process of selection is the employment interview. So the company arranges for the interview of the employees. So what is interview? Interview is nothing but the exchange of facts. You have a face-to-face interaction with the candidate to assess to know his background, to know more about the probable candidate. Then the next one is the reference and the background checks. So in the application itself, so you have to mention, the probable candidates have to mention the reference numbers and the background check. So when we just call these numbers and ask about this candidate, so they will be able to know what type of a person he is. Then the final selection decision. So after undergoing all this, so if the candidate is selected, then that we call it as the selection decision. Then after that, the medical examination. The candidate has to undergo medical examination to assess the fitness for the job. Then the next will be the job offer. So what is the job offer you are making? What is the remuneration the company is offering to the candidate? And lastly, the contract of employment. So he has to sign the contract of employment. All the terms and conditions will be neatly mentioned, and he has to just say that he will abide by the terms and conditions of the organization only if he is agreeable to it. Then the next important process of selection is the training and development. Now, what do we mean by training and development? So, it is an attempt to improve the current or future employee performance by increasing an employee's ability to perform through learning, usually by changing the employee's attitude or increasing his or her skills and knowledge. So, training is done to just improve the skills of the person in doing his job. So you just give him proper training so that he will be able to learn well and he will be able to perform the job well. The same way development also, through the development, we will be able to change the employee's attitude and also increase his or her skills and knowledge. Then the next is the importance of training. See, this is another important question. So, training and development. Then, what are the benefits of training and development to the organization and to the employees? So, this is also an important question. And also the various methods of training also. This is the most repeated question in the examination paper. Please make a note of it. So, the importance of training, first one is the benefits to the organization. Training is a systematic learning, always better than hit and trial methods which lead to wastage of efforts and money. So, with the help of training, we will be able to see that there will be less of wastage of efforts and money. So, if the person does not know his job, there will be bound to be wastage of time and raw materials also. So, in order to avoid all that, it is always better to give him training and then put him on the job. Then, second one is it enhances employee productivity both in terms of quantity and quality, leading to higher profits. So, with the help of training, we can ensure that there is productivity in terms of quality and quantity of the employee. Training equips the future manager who can take over in case of emergency. So, with the help of training, you will be able to just train the manager who can take over. Then, training increases employee morale and reduces absenteeism and employee turnover. So, with the help of training, you can reduce the employee turnover in the organization. It helps in obtaining effective response to fast changing environment, technological and economical. So, with the help of training, we will be able to see that the employees are always updated about the latest technology. So, in this way, it will be easy for the company to adapt itself to the changing environment and technological and economical. Then, next, what are the benefits of training to the employees? So, the first one is it improves skill and knowledge due to training, which leads to better career of the individual. So, when the employee improves his skill and knowledge, he will be able to perform better. So, in this way, he can have a good career in the organization. Then, increased performance by the individual help him to earn more. So, when you give proper training to the employees, It will help him to earn more salary in the organization. Then training makes the employee more efficient to handle machines, thus less prone to accidents. So when we give training to the employees, so there are chances of accidents are very, very less. Then training increases the satisfaction and morale of the employees. So when we give training to the employees, so they will be having job satisfaction and it will boost the morale of the employees. Then let us see what is this training, development and education. So training is any process by which the aptitude, skills and abilities of employees to perform specific jobs are increased. So with the help of training, you will be able to increase the aptitudes, skills and ability to perform jobs are increased. So it is the process of learning new skills and application of knowledge. So you will be more skilled and you will be able to apply the knowledge in a better way. It attempts to improve their performance on the current job and prepare them for any intended job. So with the help of training, you can see that they are in a better position to take care of the current job and also prepare them for any intended job. Then next one is education. It is the process of increasing the knowledge and understanding of the employees. So with the help of education, we will be able to increase the knowledge and understanding of the employees. It is the understanding and interpretation of knowledge. It does not provide definite answers but develops a logical and rational mind that can determine relationships among pertinent variables and thereby understand a phenomenon. So, education is nothing but it develops a logical and rational mind. So, with the help of education, we can ensure that the person has a logical and a rational mind. So, with the help of which he can understand any phenomenon which is going on in the organization. Next, development. It refers to the learning opportunities designed to help employees grow. So, you have a career path within the organization. So, with the help of development, you can ensure that the employees have a career growth in their organization. It not only covers those activities which improve job performance, but also those which bring about growth of the personality, helps individuals in progress towards maturity and actualization of their potential capacities so that they become not only good employees but better men and women. So the development is overall development of the personality of the individual. So he becomes a better man or a woman and there will be more maturity and more actualization of his inherent talent, whatever he has. Then next, let us see what are the training methods. So, on-the-job methods refer to the methods applied in the workplace while the employee is actually working. Off-the-job methods are used away from the workplace. So, on-the-job method means you are just giving the training when he is on the job itself. So, the former means learning while doing, while latter means learning before doing. So, while you are on the job itself, you will be learning about the job. So, that is on the job training. Off the job means you will be given training before you are actually doing the job. Then, next, on the job training. So, in this, the first one is the apprenticeship program. So, this is usually done for plumbers, electricians, etc. All technical jobs. For that, we need this kind of a apprenticeship training. So, whoever is the trainee, he will be placed under a head and who will be just teaching him all the tricks of the job. And after 1 year, he would have learned everything about the job. So, this kind of a training, we call it as the apprenticeship program. And during this apprenticeship program, the employee will be given a small amount of stipend. The second one is coaching. So, coaching means he or she will be placed under an existing employee, usually a superior, and he will be just telling him how to do and how to go about the job. So in this coaching and mentoring, so he will be advised on the various aspects of his job, how to take decisions and what are the situations and how to handle the situations. Everything will be done in this coaching. Then next one is the internship training. So this is usually undertaken for doctors and lawyers, etc. So once the doctor, he just gets his MBBS degree, he just cannot straight away go and practice having a clinic. So he has to work as an intern under a senior doctor, and at the end of the internship, he will be given a certificate, and then only he can set up his own practice. Then the next one is the job rotation. So within the various company itself, there will be various job positions, and the employee will be shifted from one job to another within the various departments, so that he will be knowing all the aspects of the job. So this transfer of employees between the various departments, we call it as the job rotation. Then next is the off-the-job training. So in this, the classroom lectures and conferences. So some of the technical jobs also, they can be taught in the classroom. You can see here the classroom is there, and there is an instructor who is giving the instructions. So with the help of the classroom lectures also, you can give training. Then films. So films based on how to operate the machinery, how to do the job, will be shown to the employees, and in this way he will be able to learn the job. Then case studies. So whatever the case studies of the company, they will all be compiled and filed in the library, and these case studies will be given to the employees for their study, and in this way they will be able to learn what are the various situations faced by the company and how it was handled. Then computer modeling. So with the help of the computer system, they will be able to assess the various aspects of the job. Then vestibule training. So vestibule training means you create a new machine, the same replica of the machine, whatever is there in the organization, and you see that the worker goes and operates the machine. So when he is well versed in operating the machine, so he will be put on the regular machine. So this kind of having a training outside the company by having a replica of the same machinery which is there in the company, we call it as the vestibule training. Then next one is the programmed instruction. So in this programmed instruction, the trainee will be given instructions about each aspect of the job. So once he completes one aspect of the job, again there will be instruction to what to do, what next, then after that next. So in this way, with the help of programmed instructions also, training can be given to the various employees. So with this, we come to the end of this session. Hope you have all followed it. Thank you.